I'll begin in the new welcome screen of Adobe InDesign CS3. If I don't see the welcome screen, I can always access it here in the Help menu just by choosing Welcome Screen. I'll click this button and we'll start creating the specifications for our new document. The first thing I'm going to choose is the number of pages. I'll make sure this document has 2 pages because we're actually going to create the front and the back of a postcard mailer. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to uncheck the Facing Pages option. That would be appropriate if I was working on a book or a newspaper or a magazine, but doesn't really apply in this case. Next, we'll choose the page size. We have several common page sizes built in, but in this scenario, I'm going to create a custom page size. Specifically, this one is going to be 5 inches wide, so 5 IN, and 8 inches high. Here in the middle, I'm going to keep the default number of columns, but at the bottom, I'm going to add a margin to this document. I'm going to use a 1/4 inch margin, so 0.25 inches, and because this icon right here is already depressed, that will synchronize the same margin on all 4 sides, top, bottom, left, and right, as soon as I tab out of that margin field. Alrighty, now we're almost done, but before we're finished, we have to click More Options, and that will reveal these 2 additional fields here at the bottom of the dialog box. Specifically, they allow us to add bleed and slug to our document. Now, bleed is the extra area outside of the final trimmed dimensions of our printed piece, and this allows us a little bit of wiggle room when the final piece is trimmed. So I'm going to add 1/8 of an inch bleed, so 0.125 IN, and again the sync button here is depressed, so when I press tab, it gives that same value to all 4 sides. In a real-world scenario, I would encourage you to make sure you talk with your printer to figure out exactly how much bleed they need, but 1/8 of an inch is pretty common. The slug value here is commonly used in advertising workflows so that various designers and production artists throughout the process can add a little bit of an area outside the trim where they might put some job tracking information to keep track of a project. In this case, I'm not going to use a slug, but instead I'm just going to click OK and see the new document that we've created. Now I'll grab the zoom tool here in the toolbar and zoom in on the top left corner of this document. I'm just going to click and drag around the corner here. And now let's explain what we've created. We have this document that's 5 by 8 inches, and the trim size is indicated by this black line here. Now you remember that we also have a 1/4 of an inch margin. Think of that as our live or our safety area, and that's this purple pink line that you see right here. And then the final line that we've created is the bleed. That was 1/8 of an inch bleed, and that's indicated by the red line. Get it? Bleed, blood? We actually did that on purpose. Okay, so let's go ahead and zoom all the way back out by pressing Command 0 or Control 0 on Windows to fit the entire document in the view.